I just want to welcome everybody to another edition of the TRFE Happy Hour. We got, I think this is our second edition where we have somebody that's dealing with food.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So I'm not going to skip anything. They nominated me for this. You know, we take turns hosting. They nominated me because I've been veganish since like about 1989. So they're like, you should do it. I'm like, all right, here we go. So without further ado, I want to welcome.
You said 1989?
Yeah, man, it's been a long, hard road, yo.
Before the food was good, I feel like.
And I just want to say butter is my downfall.
Butter is my downfall. It makes sense now. It makes sense. I get it.
So I want to give a big welcome and just, I'm happy that this guy's here because he's going to educate all of us. And we're going to get on this mission to make everybody vegan. I want to welcome Vinny the Vegan, Vegan Gangster, so many names. But welcome. Thank you for joining us. Cheers. I'm going to cheers with both, with a little wine and a little juice.
I think your stomach could hurt after this.
Hey, don't worry about my stomach, all right? You know what I'm saying? So,
bird up.
I want to start. First of all, because like I said, I've been vegan since like about 89, 90. And people always ask me like, you know, what made you go vegan? Yeah. And the short answer I always say is peer pressure. All my friends
peer pressured into being vegan.
Yeah, for sure. All my friends at the time, like super staunch, like trying to learn more, trying to be better, trying to be healthier in the midst of like, you know what I mean? Just trying to survive. It's a survival thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I come from a group of people that would like slap pizza out of your hand because it had pepperonis on it, right? And then you're like, not that I ate pepperoni, but then you're like, yo, like, but you know what I mean? It's just a pizza. And they're like, the cheese versus pepperoni. So that's where I come from. But also at a time when like there wasn't a lot of like, let alone vegan, there was not a vegetarian establishments. You know, we would go out to parties and stuff like that. And after we go to eat and we go to IHOP and like, what are you going to order? Like potatoes? What are you going to order? Like, you know what I mean? So I want to start there by saying like, wow, veganism, vegetarianism has come a long way. And I'm happy to be talking to you, somebody that's pushing the culture forward. So what made you go vegan?
Shoot. Man. All right. Well, I guess I'll get into my little story real quick. I'll try to give you the little quick version, you know, and I share it thousands of times. I'm 40 years old. I'm from Norristown, Pennsylvania. It's a small, you know, suburban, urban area outside of Philadelphia. I moved to California, Hollywood, California in my early 20s. I had dreams of being a television producer. That was like my childhood like dream was like, I'm gonna move to Cali, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna move to Hollywood, I'm gonna be a famous TV producer or music, like get in the music industry. And I started working on like commercial sets and game shows, like as a production assistant. I got a job as a production assistant. I started hustling. I've always been a hustler. You know, I've always like sold weed since I was a child. I moved to Cali. I was just hustling and grinding and production assistant and flipping some weed and just doing whatever I could. I was out there. Yeah. And I started making these exclusive one-on-one t-shirts. Kind of like if you look at Eric's shirt right now, right, it has the cover of Old Puff Daddy, right? So I had started that whole fad in about 2002. I took pictures of Biggie and Tupac and put them on a t-shirt and then put rhinestones on them. I rhinestone embellished these t-shirts with the, you know, Biggie's chain all iced out with Swarovski crystals. And I started wearing them in the club. I went to the club every night in Hollywood. Like, I'm single, you know, 21, 22. You know, I got a couple of dollars. Like, I'm in the club every night. And I started making these t-shirts and wearing them out in the club. And immediately, man, rappers and ball players and celebrities, I mean, you know, 50 Cent, Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, I mean, people were just grabbing me and pulling me like every which direction, man, off of this shirt. And I used to wear a different shirt every night, Bob Marley, you know, Michael Jordan with the rings and whatever, you know, and they were just jewelry. They were jewelry on a shirt. It was a luxury t-shirt. So I started selling t-shirts to celebrities, man. $500, $1,000, $300. You know, let me get 10 of them, $200 each. You know, then like Fat Joe, then Lil Jon, and Jay-Z, and T.I., Ludacris. Like I started going on tours. I started getting $250,000 checks from Finish Line and Sneaker Villa and Downtown Locker Room, and I just went on this crazy journey, man, coming from Northtown to selling millions of t-shirts worldwide. And that went on for about 10 years, man. I rode that thing out for 10 years. I grew it more and more. I got warehouses. I got Range Rovers. I got 750s, S550s. I got jewelry. I got minks. I was with Don Juan, Bishop Don with rocking minks and Snoop Dogg at the Playboy Mansion, like places people dream of. And coming from Northtown, I dreamed of it too. Like, I'm a Yo MTV baby, BET, I want that lifestyle, I was brainwashed into this lifestyle very early, from the music and the videos and things like that. Hold on one sec. And then at about 30, in 2010, I hit rock bottom. I lost everything. It felt like all in one day, but it wasn't all in one day. It was like slowly losing everything. And those, $40,000 checks stopped coming, and the $100,000 checks stopped coming. And, I had employees. I had 2 warehouses. I had a warehouse in LA, a warehouse in Mexico. I had probably 50 something employees. I had 4 cars. I had 4 girlfriends. I had 4 houses. I had, it was like 4 of everything. And, lines of credit. I was just young and dumb, man. No guidance, no mentor. Banks were just giving me hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm like, let's go just buy some jewelry and weed and cars and guns. And like, I really created this character for myself. Right. Vinny, they call me Blanco, Vinny Blanco, whatever, And I was living this life, man. I was like, trampled over anybody. I've seen so much, man. Death. I lost friends to violence. I lost friends to disease, cancer. God had just run me through so much, man. Went from partying with Puff Daddy and Snoop and being on jets and to like, being in crack houses and being in the projects. And like, I done saw a whole scope of life, all different colors and creeds and races and broke and homeless to billionaires to like all in between. And I lost everything at 30, man. I tried to hold on to it, and God was just stripping me naked of everything. And I let everything go. I became broke. I tell people I was broke financially, spiritually, morally, bankrupt. I was everything but dead and in jail. I was in downtown LA. I was homeless. And in my state of homelessness, I always say like I was like fly homeless though. Like I stayed at the gym. I had I used to have a loft downtown LA. I stayed like in their gym. They didn't know that. Hey, Vinny, they didn't know I got evicted. Like security let me in. I'm sleeping in the sauna. I'm sleeping. I was fly homeless for a minute, and I was very humbling, man. It was very, very humbling. I went from having 4 cars to walking and taking a bus and really, really just going inside myself. And I had an organic detox. My life just organically detoxed, and I stopped smoking cigarettes. I stopped eating snacks from the corner store. I stopped drinking sodas and everything. I started questioning and analyzing everything: people, places, my thoughts, my decisions. I analyzed my whole life up until 30, and I didn't even have a phone. God took my phone, took my computer, took everything. I had no contact with nothing. And I said, well, now's the time to submit and go inside myself. And I started walking 10 miles a day. Wow. I went to a few places where I used to spend thousands of dollars on every day, like every week, on food and lunches for my employees, and everybody was just, Vinny, you know, I had relationships with people, and I was just like, yo, you see my language? I was like, I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm down and out. So they was like, well, here's food. You know, here's this, here's that. And I went to this restaurant that I used to like really, like I used to spend thousands of dollars at this restaurant on some Goodfellas stuff. Like, you know, they make me my own table. We in there, you know, getting bottles and eating $1,000 plates and in downtown LA. And I go in there one day in daytime. Like, I never been there in daytime. I was a nightlife dude, you know, always out at night. And I popped in there in daytime, and I never forget, I bought a granola bowl. It was the only thing I could afford in there. I had like $6. And I started eating the granola bowl at the bar, and this young cat from Nebraska, Joe, his name was Joe. He's 23, he moved to LA to be a rock star, and he making juice. Shout out to Joe. And he making juice while I'm sitting there eating, and I started sharing with him. I was telling him, you know, my life, I'm messed up. So boom, he give me a juice. He give me an orange carrot juice, man. I was like, yo, I don't know what that is, but it gave me life. And he was like, yo, if you can get some money up, you know what I'm saying, come in here. I'm going to look out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can buy one juice, I'll give you 2 juices, you know. So I start going in there every morning, kicking it with Joe. He give me kale juice. He give me celery juice. And I'm walking every day. And you know, I couldn't even make $100. Like, I've been a hustler since I was 12, you know. And it's like, for somebody who knows how to bust moves, like, I couldn't bust a move to save my life. And I just stayed down, and led me to transformation, led me to juicing, led me to walking, led me to my mind getting right, and then my body getting right, and then lead to my soul, and then led me to veganism, which I was like, vegan, that's corny. Like, and living in LA, think about it. Think about all the women I done ran through and met, and like, you meet some vegans, I'm like, vegan, oh, she crazy, like, she nutty, like, like, this chick crazy. She don't eat meat. Like, nah, I ain't messing with her. You know what I'm saying?
So Joe's orange carrot juice.
Yeah,
it was your first.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it, man. That was the gateway drug.
Okay, that's crazy. Man. Shout out to Joe and that orange carrot juice.
And I believe, you know, because I tell people I'm a Tropicana baby, Minute Maid, you know, High C, Sunny D. Like, Sunny D was my orange juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not real orange juice.
It was Tropicana for us. That was like what they told you was the good stuff. With the pulp, when they started doing the pulp, it was like, oh, this is like a real orange.
So one of the questions we had was what was your first juice? And like, so that was it. That's awesome.
Yeah, orange carrot.
And on that note, I want to send it over to Mike, because he has a segment called Over a Drink, but I think he's going over a juice this time.
Problem though, man, because I got jammed up and I was running late, I didn't have time to prep anything. So, but what I do have is I have the normal the joints that I've used previously. So this is aloe juice that my wife makes fresh from the aloe plant. She pulls the meat out, purees it with some water and some sugar, boom. So that's aloe juice. And then this
how long does that take to make
aloe? I'm curious about that. The peeling out.
Because you like pull out, boom, boom. It sounds like it's like quick. Is that like
you gotta slice the aloe.
Okay.
You gotta slice the aloe first, and then you gotta carve out the meat because you can't eat the skin, right, Vin? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
like,
you can't eat the skin.
It'll give you the runs, like you. So you don't want to mess with it. So you gotta take the meat out, and then she puts the meat into the juicer. Put a little bit of water in there. With a little, I think she put sugar in there, maybe not. Oh, I think she used agave, maybe. But I don't know. Is aloe sweet? Aloe's not sweet, right?
Aloe's not sweet.
And let me ask you this: do you guys have an aloe plant that you use, or do you guys buy that big aloe? Yeah.
I buy aloe at the grocery store. So I don't know if she puts any sugar in there. I don't know if it's whatever, but it tastes good.
Wrong. Where is she?
She's at work, and so, but she thins it out nice, so it don't have the real like the meatiness of it.
want that.
So it flows nice when you drink it.
Can we take a second to acknowledge the baby enjoying the hell out of this juice?
Yeah.
You probably like the freshest baby out there. How old is she, man?
Super agile with a glass and everything.
Yeah,
And she got the beaches all
Nah,
over.
we start them early over here. We don't
Yeah, right. You go right up for the set.
Nah, we don't baby you over here. We ain't doing that. Nah.
Oh, beet juice, young.
So,
There
this,
go my juice. What's that?
this is ginger.
Just straight ginger?
And turmeric.
Just straight ginger and
Yeah,
turmeric?
same thing. Peel the ginger, throw it in the thing,
A lot of ginger.
put it in the take some cheesecloth
Yeah.
after we put it in the juicer.
Uh-huh.
We take some cheesecloth and then we pour it out, and then the meat of the ginger that's still in there,
Yeah.
just keep pouring hot water over it to try to keep pulling the ginger out as much as I can get out of it. So since I don't have time to do nothing else, what I was gonna do is I was just gonna do shots of ginger.
Okay.
I don't know how many I'm gonna get through.
Get some ginger shots, bro.
Let's get it started, man.
Over a drink. I was just gonna do some
That's
ginger.
not good in order, okay?
Man.
Whoa. Ginger shot. And this is what it is to be over 40 doing a happy hour.
Yeah, this is a 40-year happy hour. So Vince, so you kind of told the whole backstory. That was what I usually do with Over a Drink, is actually about your backstory. But you gave us all your backstory, Vince. So I don't have much to ask about your backstory. But what I will ask is so how many shops you got? You got the one in Norristown, right? Is that still there?
Yeah, that's still there. Yep.
And then are you in Florida?
No, we're in Maryland. We got 2 in Maryland. And then we just opened a food truck in North Carolina last month.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
And we had 2 other locations, but they had closed down, COVID and all that stuff. And they're different owners, so I kind of like, I don't want to say franchise. I licensed the brand out right now, working towards turning it into a franchise. So I license out the trademark and the recipes and stuff to people who want to buy in and open up a Ganster Vegan. So we currently have we have 3 sets of owners right now. We have 1 set of owners in Maryland, 1 in North Carolina, and 1 out in Norristown. But yeah, I opened up the first 2 myself.
Talk about bringing that back to Norristown. So you said, you hit rock bottom.
Yes.
Then you came home, and then you got home, and it was like what? So you juicing, you drinking?
All right. So
And what year was that?
All right, so I hit rock bottom like 2010, 2011. I'll go through a whole year of like profound transformation. And then I go to like my first vegan restaurant, which I was like, these people are on drugs, yo. Like I'm in Hollywood in my first vegan restaurant, and I'm like, yo, it was so hippy dippy and like love and light, and people were hugging me and shit. I was like, what? People were like, their food was it was called Cafe Gratitude. And yo, and it transformed my life. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, a couple vegan restaurants were pivotal in my life transformation. And their food, they named their food like, I am worthy, like, I am grateful, I am. So when they bring you your food, they're like, Vinny, you are grateful, magnificent, wonderful. And I'm like, so these people are on drugs, man. Like, I'm fresh out of like 20 years out of the strip club and gangbangers and sex, money, drugs, Snoop Dogg in them. And like, I'm at Cafe Gratitude now. This is like 2013, I guess, a good 7-8 years ago. And I got introduced to like vegan food, and I'm like, yo, this concept is dope. Like, this is a dope concept. Like, and then I was like, the more I was there, I started going there a lot. I actually started working at a juice bar. I started working at Cafe Gratitude, doing deliveries for free. I started working for food. I started working at a juice bar for $8 an hour with juice. Cause I'm like, damn, I made $3-4 grand a day. You know what I'm saying? On a slow day for years. Like, so I'm like $8 an hour, very humbling, but I didn't care about the money. I was like, my life was transforming by being around this food and this lifestyle. Can you guys say? And I started working and I started acting like I was the owner at these juice bars and these vegan restaurants. People would come in and think I was the owner or like the manager. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I am. You know what I mean? And I did all the work nobody wanted to do. I stayed late, came in early. I washed dishes. I did deliveries. I cleaned the toilets. You know, I always tell youngins when I'm mentoring youngsters, and especially these millennials, like, you gotta be able to like wipe that shit off the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. You gotta wash these dishes till your fingers get wrinkled. Like, I still to this day, it's not beyond me to go wash 1,000 dishes. You know what I'm saying? And go scrub floors. And it took me back to that, which I had lost sense of that. You know, with the sex, money, drugs, balling out. You know, very humbling. So humbled myself. I learned raw foods. I learned how to juice. I learned recipes. I just like, I absorbed all this game and life started getting better for me. And it's so funny how, you know, I guess when God want to bless you, he bless you. Like after like year 2 of complete transformation, I checked the old email of mine. It was a old email attached to my t-shirt lifestyle. And at this point I had been, you know, almost 3 years out of the t-shirt game. And it was when, I can't remember the event, but Jamie Foxx had wore a Trayvon Martin t-shirt at this award show. And one of the buyers from this chain store that I dealt with was like, yo, Jamie Foxx is wearing this Trayvon Martin t-shirt. Can you make this shirt for us? We want to order like $5,000 worth of shirts. And I'm still homeless, but I'm like couch surfing at this time. And I'm ready to bounce back to Norristown. I'm like, this is my move. I got a little hoopty. I'm gonna sell a little hoopty, get a couple grand. I'm gonna go back to my hometown and I'm just start selling juice. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I'm gonna sell juice. I had a plan to I'm gonna start a juice truck or a juice company in Norristown or in Philly. That was my plan for like a half a year. And I was telling everybody. So I get this email, man. I hit the guy up. I emailed back. Now, mind you, in my heyday, me and this dude made hundreds of thousands of dollars together. He was a buyer for a chain store, just a buyer. He made 40 grand a year probably as his job, but we was on a payola. So he was like, you know, we ordered 20,000 t-shirts from you. I want $2-3 a shirt. Cool. We did that over and over. I mean, I seen these are young cats. You know what I'm saying? These are young cats from the hood that this owner who got all this bread was like, they got the swag, so we need them or whatever. I saw them, like, they were buying houses and cars. I'm like, man, like, this is crazy. And we went on this crazy journey. But I say all that to say, all right, so I'm waiting for the $5,000 order, right? He sent me a $55,000 order. So I'm like, oh, shit. Yo, whoa, I ain't even having the money to make the order. So I'm like, I called one of the juice bar owners up that I was working for at the time. And I'm like, bro, like, I have this opportunity. I don't have the money. Boom, he gave me the money. He gave me $15,000 to make $55,000 order. I gave him extra $5 grand on top, got the order done. I stayed in LA extra 30 days. I did the order. So boom, I moved back with like 30 grand, 35 grand. I still homeless, nowhere to go. My friend in Norristown was like, you can stay. One of my lifelong friends was like, you can stay at my house for 30 days. He was like, I want you to veganize me though and make all my meals for 30 days. Oh, wow. You can stay here for 30 days. So I said, bet. I moved in his house for 30 days and I started selling juice like drugs out of his house. Like, yeah, people thought I was crazy. Like people from Norristown that know me, like they're like, yo, I was like Puff Daddy of the hood of Norristown. Like I come home, used to fly my cars back or rent Ferraris, limos. You know, they like, my boy made it. Like he out there, he made it. He was a success story. So then I lose everything, become a vegan, and I'm juicing now. They like, he crazy. He done lost his mind. he talking about this gangster vegan shit. Like, I don't know, not like, so I come back and I started selling juice out the house and it just started selling like drugs, man. Like all in Norristown to a demographic that at the time wasn't going to Cafe Gratitude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool. How can I take this and bring it and transform it so people, because a lot of people had the same mentality I had when they heard the word vegan, and they still do. Like for me, I thought it was like soft or like feminine or like that's for women or like it's corny, it's hippie. So I was like, you know, I made a t-shirt. It just said Ganster Vegan. I started going to Cafe Gratitude. I started going to all these vegan restaurants wearing my Ganster Vegan shirt. And people were like, yo, I like your shirt. Yo, I like it. So I said, here we go with this t-shirt shit again. Excuse my language. And people like, where can I get that shirt? Where can I get that shirt? Where can I get that shirt? So I'm like, oh, I got them. So I started selling shirts and feeding inner city children. So for every shirt I sold was one vegan meal for a child in the hood. And I started in Compton, California. I went to the same clothing store. They had at the time had 130 stores. I think now they have 300 and something stores. They bought out City Blue. It was called Chic Shoes, and the owner was a sheik. He was actually like a sheik, Indian sheik, and he had a lot of money and a lot of mentorship for a young 20-something-year-old. Like, he's cutting me $100,000 checks, but he giving me some game too. And he bought a building in Compton, near the Compton swap meet, where one of his chic shoes was, and he built a community center there. So I sold 100 shirts, still homeless, sold 100 shirts, and I started at like all these vegan restaurants, like, yo, I'm feeding people. And I went to Compton Community Center, and we fed 100 children. And I'll never forget, there was pimps, whores, prostitutes, gangbangers in the parking lot. And this was about 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. Wow. And we went and fed these children. We made smoothies, we made salads. It was just an amazing time.
That is awesome.
And it made me feel like really, really good and wanted to do good. So yeah, so I moved back home and I started trapping out the house. And the line was lying outside the door. The neighbors hated me. They called the cops, and it just blew up. And it blew up, man. And I slid into a spot. A 600 square foot spot, no background check, no credit check, no nothing, I sat on the 30 grand as long as I could, and just started trapping. I was breaking even really out the house. I wasn't really making money. I put the 30 grand down to start the construction, and that was it, man. I'm a convicted felon. I had, 2 felonies, a long rap sheet, I was caught up in a lifestyle that so many easily caught up in. And not only was I caught up in it, I went and saw the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only was I like running streets wild in Norristown when I was young, like I got into the industry that had helped portray that image for me, and saw like a lot of it's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's not even real. And yeah, it's a trip. So I kind of created Ganster Vegan like to transform that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I think, doing good things for good people is gangster. I think, fighting for what's right is gangster, and like taking care of yourself, your children, your family, your community. Like, I think that's gangster, But yeah, I'm running on and on. I could run on and on.
Kind of related to that, I heard a talk you gave on the internet before we did the call today, and you kind of touched a little bit on this at the Cafe Gratitude, but about like the connection between like masculinity in America and like eating meat, like I think a lot of people think of vegans, they probably can name more of their female friends than they can like probably men. Like, why do men eat meat in America? Like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's this guy I follow, John Joseph from the Cro-Mags, I think. He's been vegan for like 40-some years. He wrote a book called "Meat is for Pussies." And I don't know, maybe because it's like I don't know, the testosterone, the blood, and like I don't know, the raunchiness of it. Maybe I don't know. It's so weird. But I was there too, and I'm like, what kind of man doesn't eat meat? Like, like what? But I equivalated to, and I don't like, look, I don't attack anybody for what they eat. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I'm always like, it's about quality. It's about quality and it's about quantity. Like for me, I was eating meat at every meal, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even good quality meat. And I associated with like a lot of my anger and violence and things like that. you know, it saturated my heart. Like it was saturated fat. Like it was just surrounding my heart, and I couldn't really breathe or like have compassion. I didn't have time to stop for compassion or understanding or you know, love. Like, you know, I came out into this world like with stories of like hurt and violence and pain, and like I ran with those stories all my life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't know. Once my transformation started with food, and once the food started transforming, then thoughts started transforming, and then my actions started transforming. So I was like, all right, well, the proof is there, you know. And I don't give 100% credit to the food, but that's where it started for me. You know, it started with that juice, with that drink, and letting go of a lot of toxic things. You know, there's people, places, decisions, thoughts, and all that, man. But yeah, I don't know. We gotta like. I have homies that are like huge bodybuilder vegans. You know, badass vegan, and all these people are like, yeah, like they'll break you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, they breaking the myths, but we talking 1989, like he was crazy. He was crazy back then. Like they wanted to put him in a straitjacket.
Think about it. So I mean, we're totally out of the over drink segment, but I like where the conversation is going.
I did have one question before we do about this segment, because
I mean, no, we're still in it. What I'm saying is just kind of going. So
you know,
I'll let you go if you have a question. I had one too on the topic, but ladies first.
So yesterday we had a little debate on like what raw actually means. Is it a certain food temperature? Is it not cooking anything at all? I feel like you're the expert on that, and that you could help settle this.
That's a good question. Yeah, because I'm going raw all the way till January. I started a month. I'm like 2 months in. Because when I transformed my life, I kind of went that way first. Like I didn't do the vegan junk food and breads and sandwiches and stuff. I kind of went the raw route, which is so raw means no cooking food, no cooked things. Like if your oil was like pasteurized, like that's cooked. It's like no nothing. But there is a dehydrator, like you can dehydrate stuff. So dehydration so it's basically anything that's not cooked over 118 degrees. So after 118 degrees, it cooks all the nutrients out of it. Yeah, so like your oven won't go that low. Like you have to get dehydrated. Yeah, so like a dehydrator.
Don't go that low.
It don't.
For what?
But a dehydrator.
You ain't living right. Look at your fucking oven, man. Look at your oven. You ain't living right.
Yeah, so like my dehydrator here goes from like 90 degrees to like 165 degrees.
Okay, and you're dehydrating fruits and stuff in there?
Yeah, fruits, and you can make burgers. At the restaurant, we do like bread, onion bread. We do burgers. You can do kale chips. Because anything over 118, it sucks all the nutrient out of it. So there's no nutrient in it. So when you cook food, depending how you cook it and what degree, it cooks a lot of the nutrient out of it. So you're basically just cooking burnt food. It tastes good. It got the oil and the salt and the spices and all that. But you burnt the nutrient out of it. So for optimal health.
I'm devastated with
yeah. All right. But here's the thing, you thrive the best when you eat that way, or at least 90%, 80-90%, and maybe do a little warmth at night. Soups, you know what I'm saying? Teas, even a cooked meal, but like, hey, all day today I was raw, and then I ate that one little cooked meal, and then I went back to raw. You know, for me, I know the difference. I can tell within a week or 2 weeks. Like, yeah, I wake up at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., like ready to like super energized.
Raw?
Yeah, like super energized. Like I'm never tired. You know, never lethargic. You know, I'm ready to like, yeah. Okay. But when I eat that cooked food, you know, I'm like, I'm sluggish. I'm like, I want to sleep in more. I wake up tired. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Thank you for settling that.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. So I kind of want to stay on that same trajectory and the topic, but Also, we talked earlier, we were trying to explain a little bit what we do, how we came together. I have a clip for us to watch, and this is from 2014, and this is our first endeavor of kind of creating this what's now a festival. You know, then it wasn't really as defined.
Art party, right? Like,
even know
like an art party.
It was an art party. There you go.
Now that
I'm excited to see the footage.
A little more than that, but yes, it was definitely more of an experiment.
Are you guys all artists, or who's artists? Like, not. I mean, like, you know. I guess like you're all artists. Yeah. Stupid question.
You are artists, man. Everybody.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, seriously, Ben, like in Tiny Room, we would consider you a creative because the way that you treat food and
oh my God,
you know, like that's creativity. And so when we talk about like the creatives we work with, it's not just visual artists, it's not just musicians, it's people that are working with food, it's people that are in the healing arts, massage therapists. Like, we really kind of look at all those things as this outlet of creativity.
Love it.
That being said, Alex is a visual artist. He actually the most like artist in that regard, but
he's like, yeah, thanks for finally mentioning me. Sorry.
Mike looks like he looks like a visual artist with that easel back there. But that's not real.
Yeah, I see the easel in the back.
You know what I'm saying? I was just fronting. You know I want it, babe.
All right. I roll this clip.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
The tiny room for elephants. You take all the elephants of the room, the people that stand out, the people that are doing stuff, the people that excel in a certain area, and you bring them into a small space and you say, whatever you want to do it in this space. Let how big you are exceed the space. The space isn't going to hold you in.
It's all about the energy, man, and this small, intimate space, but, you know, cats that are really, you know, have ambitious and trying to do things in a big way. And just that vibe, like that positive energy, that creative energy, and I really felt it in this space.
Periodically, just some of my heroes and great painters just jumped in and worked on the project, and that was great for me, just to see people work, ridiculously talented people that I know, and I know that are capable of doing amazing things. Like, that's good enough for me.
The project wouldn't be what it is without everybody's ideas like all coming together, and here we are, you know, probably one of the sickest things I've ever been a part of.
The quality of everything was like just breathtaking.
Brought me back to ground zero creatively, in terms of like, you know, you can persist and make something that's really awesome.
We all connected with the idea. Yes, it's an awesome idea. Get a bunch of people who are obviously too big for their space, and let's see what they can do.
Everybody bringing something different and everybody vibing off each other.
It's not even on some competition level. It's just like, let me really get into this. Let me really go in.
What I didn't say earlier when we were talking offline is that
I cried, Dave.
Oh man! Is that we had this space, and we created an actual room, and we brought these artists and musicians to come in and create. And
where was it?
North Philly, 5th and Berks.
Yo, I've been there before.
What? Bet.
No, I was there when I saw it. I was like, I know I've been there before. I think I did an interview. I think I did a podcast interview there, or with Ish. You know somebody named Ish? Gerald? Yo, I was there. It was like, we did the podcast like around the corner or like upstairs, I think. We did a interview there, and then they took me to the space. Yeah. It wasn't the elephant paintings though. It was different. They were different paintings at the time when I went.
Oh, okay.
A different year. We did it there a couple of years.
Well, we also, I mean, in the process of working there for a couple of years, we had like in that same space, we had painted the bathroom, we had painted the bar, we like, yeah, kind of like
I was gonna say it was in North Philly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was there like 2 or 3 years ago. I was there.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to give you a little like bit of what we do.
Yeah. No, that's a dope spot. It was a dope spot. They had music bumping. They was in there painting. Yeah.
That's what's up. That is awesome. Damn.
Do you still have the spot?
What's that?
Y'all still have the spot?
Nope. We since then we moved to we helped open Cherry Street Pier. We had a artist in residency in Cherry Street Pier, and we did it twice. We did it once there. We also did it at Bach in 2018. We kind of moved around a little bit.
And
that's kind of like best for us too. We kind of sometimes outgrow spaces if you want to like, you know what I mean, change. I think a big thing about what we do is we always try to like change and adapt and, you know, just change it up a little bit. So.
And also too, like to bring more out of our creatives. Like the thing is everybody has to come in and paint together, right? They have 10 days to paint and it's a collaborative thing. Y'all got to come, you got to paint together. Most creatives are used to creating alone. And so, you know, when you switch up the environment, you can, you know, kind of change the dynamics of that a little bit too.
Right.
But yeah, we just want to fill you in about a little bit of what we do. But also, I want to get back to the conversation because it was just getting good. Talking about raw foods and actually like settling some grievances that we had internally, which is great.
And I had another question when we're ready. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So even going back to that, like something I wanted to get to, like you said, like you know, 1989, there wasn't a lot out here for us. You know what I'm saying? And the first person I knew that like really was into raw food was Rich Nichols, who the manager, coach. He was like, this was like, you know, the late 90s. He was into raw foods then, and we were looking at him like you're fucking crazy. Like, what do you like? You know what I mean? Like, we gave up the dairy and everything else, and it's like, but now we can't have cooked food, like so. That is kind of like the next level. So going there, could you talk about like, you know, like one thing we wanted to know was like for the person that wanted to get into like veganism or vegetarianism, like what are some of the first like entry points that are like, you know what I mean, that you would recommend? But then also like, I think that would be a good start, you know?
Well, for me, like my entry points were like taking out bad stuff, taking out toxic stuff, and then putting in good stuff. And it started with juicing and walking and smoothies. And I got into smoothies. So I was like juice and smoothies. They were like my go-to thing, like especially for like the top half of the day. Excuse me. A lot of fruit. You know, keeping a lot of fruit on hand stuff. You know. Don't eat 3 blueberries, eat the whole pack of blueberries, you know what I'm saying? Eat a whole pack of blueberries and a whole pack of raspberries, you know? Eat 4 bananas, don't eat 1, you know, like fill up and then chill out the rest of the day, you know? But I'm always like clear out stuff to make room for new stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you trying to put beet juice over a McDonald's burger, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Some people, that's how they transition, but like, how about like say no to the burger, you know what I mean? Like build discipline on this end and then start introducing on this end. So it's like, I stopped
you know, if you do too much different juices, you could shard. You could.
You don't want to start yourself.
It's a real, I mean.
Is this like an experience? Is this coming from something?
And you know what? I can be transparent here. Yes, this is from experience. When I first got my juicer, I was excited. I would do a beet juice in the morning and then a green juice for lunch. And then I had to go to a meeting and what I thought was a fart wasn't. So, you know, I just held off now on the 2 juices a day and I go to 1. Yeah, like you got to clear up.
You ever wrote. The realest thing you ever wrote.
You know your limits.
You got to know. Sometimes you get gung ho.
But here's the thing too, like It's like when you mix the two, then they start battling. You know what I'm saying? They start battling in your stomach. So they fighting for the space. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, damn, I ate that foul stuff, but now I'm trying to clean it out with this stuff. But it's like, then they gang warring in there. They like, hold on, like, so then it causes that combustion, right? But if you can go long term, and clean it out, then you could drink juice all day. You won't have that combustion. You know what I'm saying?
That is well put. That is well put. You know what I'm saying? Like you went from
that's like anything.
That's like anything in turmoil. I like it.
But that's like good. That's like anything in life, right? So it's like, it's like, all right, I got good and bad. If they 50-50, it's like, if bad is 60 and good is 40, or bad is 70 and good is 30, like I need to get my good up a little more. Like I need the good to be at like 80%. You know what I'm saying? Like, 75 is like winning. 7, like give me a C+. You know what I'm saying? Like, and strive to get to like an A-, a B+. Like that's a good place to be. So then when you go off and get you a little D- or an F, you be like, all right, let me get back to the A's, B's, and C's. So I mean, that's kind of where it's at. Like, all right, we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I might go eat a vegan hoagie. I might go, drink some soda. I might go eat some chips, and get it in. But I know I'm going to get, for the rest of the week, I'm going to be, raw, taking my walk. Like, that's my preset. You know what I'm saying? So when I get off, that's my default. We just go right back to that.
Can I admit, so I call myself a vegetarian, and we're vegetarian in the house here, but fried chicken is my weakness. Yeah. And it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's some low-quality fried chicken, some fast food bullshit. And last week I, had a moment of weakness.
Confessionals. This is really confessional. I don't know if you guys follow the Hood Healer, but I do. But she talks about like fast food and eating out, and she always says like, yeah, like you're in a bad mood because you don't cook any of your meals. You're in a bad mood because you're eating fast food all the time. And really talks about it like being related to like your mood. Like a stranger in a greasy kitchen is making your dinner, and you're wondering why things aren't aligning for you.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Like, look. If
the food ain't got no love in it, right?
Look, if I'm in a messed up mood, I won't even make your food. Like I won't even do you like that. Like if Mike was like, "Yo, I need 10 sandwiches tomorrow," and I get in an argument with somebody, or I'm beefing in that moment where I'm supposed to make them, like I'm not gonna make them. I'm gonna go get myself right and do what I got to do, and then I'm gonna come back and make them because. I mean, that's, the Rasta man told me that. He said, yo, Vinny, he said, people's stomachs want to meet the chef. They want to meet the cook for good or for bad. If the meal was amazing, they like, yo, who made that? If the meal was nasty and you throwing up, got sick, they like, yo, who made that? You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't really eat anywhere else but in home, what I'm saying? Me and my wife, our food, like, we're very particular about who touches our food or who makes our food. Like, it's very, very important. Very important.
On a note of your food, I want to touch on 2 things. 2 questions kind of related. What do you think, your thoughts on, like, the current, like, trends in, like, vegetarian and vegan, like, fast food? You know what I'm saying?
No good.
No, it's no good.
Bueno.
No bueno.
Isn't it? Let me ask you this: it's better than McDonald's?
No.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
They all in cahoots.
Deep frying like trickery. Deep frying like Satan.
It's just trickery. Like, oh, you trying to stop eating McDonald's? You ain't gonna stop. Like, we hit you every which way.
I don't know anymore.
Because look, they knew this was coming years ago. You know what I'm saying? They've been planning for this. Like, something like a Beyond Meat burger to take off like that wasn't no Vinny Vegan made this out of his house. Like, no, that was strategically that was a strategic move, you know what I'm saying? Impossible Foods, Bill Gates, you know, we could spend a whole nother hour on all that, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's not. It's like, if you want to be better, go eat some fruits, go get some vegetables, go start a garden, you know what I'm saying? Like, eat out the earth, juice, you know what I mean? Like, we got to protect ourselves now, you know what I'm saying? No, like.
So that's a no to the plant-based food.
Nah. I mean, there's some cheeses I rock with, you know what I'm saying? But nah, like, I don't mess with those meats. I definitely stay away from anything impossible and beyond. Yeah. Stay away from those. Nah.
My healthy-ish days.
You just talk about if you want to stay healthy. What's your thoughts on, like, in this pandemic time that we dealing with this madness right now, and how you think food-wise, how, you know what I'm saying? How could being raw or being vegan, you think, play into your health? You know, just your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to keep your immunity up now. Like, you don't want to be eating no breads and no starches and no, like, junk food. I mean, but that's the whole point. Like, they had to stay at home and eat junk food, you know? I know in the pandemic, I wasn't raw. I was eating nasty vegan food. Like, I was even eating out. Like, I was eating all kinds of stuff. Like, I gained a lot of weight during the pandemic. But you know, I had to get control because I was going too far left. And because I'm like, damn, it's about to be winter. So now I'm going to eat even more. Like, oh, it's winter time. Like, you know, excuse to just eat. Quarantine, excuse, like we make excuses, right?
As soon as you said that, I had to drink some more juice. I'm sorry. I was like,
yeah, like,
you just throw this back real quick.
Nah, because like you know, you don't want to get sick now at this point. Like, you want to stay immunity. Like, it's not even about eating good. It's just about eating less. You know what I'm saying? You want to be less. You want to be light, because like all that stuff any food like really clogs you up. You know what I'm saying? So, you just want to be more mindful. You want to eat more fruit. You know what I'm saying? Fruit, high in the morning, like to the afternoon. Eat a lot of fruit. Less acidic fruit, like less citrus and stuff like that, but more like, you know, your mangoes and your berries and your bananas and stuff like that. And, you know, get some herbs, get some teas and trees. You can go on Ganster Vegan. I sell herbs and stuff on there.
That's the perfect transition, because I wanted to get into like what like a meal at your restaurant would be. You know, like, I want people to know, like, you know, instead of going to those other places that are, you know what I mean, dropping a nicely brown toned tofu into the whatever, and give you the sauces on it. Like, what's the difference between that and?
Also, Ganster Vegan, we were originally all raw when we opened up. We're like 98% raw. We added quinoa and brown rice and some hot beans, black beans, to our bowls. We kind of like the Chipotle vegan food. We got bowls, salads, bowls, juices, smoothies, desserts, all raw desserts. Yeah, we do like our most popular thing is our burrito bowl. We have an iPoppy burrito bowl. Has walnut taco meat on there. Has 2 dressings on there. Like, we drizzle everything. The drizzle game is on point. The flavor is on point. We make tuna out of sunflower seeds. We have tuna salad, tuna sandwich. We do raw burgers. We have beet burgers and broccoli burgers. Sweet potato pie, raw pies, apple cheesecake. We got a chocolate. It's like a cacao banana raw pie, lemon berry cheesecake, apple cheesecake. Yeah, it's so.
Are you guys doing like stuff for like? Do you guys do catering? Can people order a whole pie? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, you can order a whole pie. Yeah, we do whole pies. They're a little pricey, you know what I'm saying?
Worth it.
Yeah, my goal now is like reinventing. I'm working on sandwiches as well, where they all are plant-based. There's no fake meats or nothing like that. But it is like bread. It does have bread and like the veganese, the mayo and all that. But it's something, you know, I'm when I was really young, like I worked in a deli, you know, super young, like one of my first jobs ever. And like, I've always been a sandwich bull. I'm Italian. Like I know I've always been like hoagie bull, Reuben bull, like just straight sandwiches, you know. So Zeps, we have something out in Norristown called a Zep. So I just been starting with that as far as like a fun sandwich brand for people that want sandwiches and hoagies and, you know, don't want to be all raw or healthy for today, or you can still get a juice with it, you know, some chips, whatever, you know, but that's something I'm working on now and making it affordable because that's the thing too. Like, yeah, because I want to make an affordable version of Ganster Vegan for areas that can't afford an $8, $9, $10 juice. You know, you gotta be a certain type of person to afford a $10 juice with a $10 meal and a $10 dessert. So, cutting the portions in half and some of the things in half and reinventing it is like a fast food competitor where you can get a whole meal for $10, you know, or $15, $12, who knows? But you know, that's the new wave for me, and still keeping the spots, you know, that can afford the $10 juices and things like that. But really hitting those food deserts and creating accessibility, because but still keeping it flavorful and affordable, you know.
So before we check out, let me ask you about the stuff that you were doing. Speaking of making stuff affordable, you was you still, I guess, not in COVID, but when you were taking the meals to was it the Norristown Junior High School, elementary school?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Something like once a month, once a week. What was that?
Oh yeah, man. Shoot. So I told you I started feeding children in the Compton Community Center. I've been to like, I don't know, man. I lost count. I probably say like realistically 50 to 60 schools in the last 6-7 years. Schools, youth detention centers, prisons, colleges. You know, I've been to schools I've been kicked out of. I've been, you know what I'm saying? Like school, my high school, I've been to my middle school, I've been to my elementary school. I've been to all the schools in my hood. Like I used to play sports in, like God had just sent me all the way, like places I couldn't even imagine going. And, yeah, that's something near and dear to me. I would probably, I don't know, I lost count. We were going to after school programs, community centers. And, you know, it was all based off of like food sales and shirt sales and donations. And it was just all out of pocket. And we would actually make the meals. Certain instances, we would go and teach the children how to make our burrito bowl. And it's been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of children. And it's funny because I've circled back a couple of places a couple times and seen the 11, 12-year-olds turn into 16, 17-year-olds, and they like, yo, like that made a difference in my life, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, they had the same school I went to, and like nobody came and had that convo with me, you know what I'm saying? Like all they talked about was like sex and drugs and like, you know, stay off of drugs, and like nobody came and was like, yo, we're gonna make a smoothie and a burrito, a vegan burrito bowl, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's fun, you know. It's fun, man. I'm blessed, and I'm just thankful, you know, thankful and grateful to be that vessel, you know. I realized, like, even in my past life, like in that lifestyle I was in the celebrity hip hop lifestyle, like I was still that same person. I was just buried and lost underneath all the external stuff. Yeah, so. Yo,
man, we appreciate having you, man.
Appreciate you.
We really do. And one more thing, man, before we go. Yeah. I just thought it would be a good last fun thing to do. How about everybody just around everybody on here, right? Just like you know, we just there was a holiday that just passed that I refuse to say his name anymore. But you know, the holiday, the unnamed holiday,
Thursday.
Past Thursday. Yeah. I want everybody to tell Vinny what their meal was, so he can like look at you with like scorn and like
scorn and
disgust.
Oh. Nice.
Mike, you first.
Mike. Listen, a nice play, Dave. What was mine? Mine was some Brussels.
Back, Mike.
Nah, mine wasn't that bad, man. It was Brussels sprouts. I had.
How you cook them?
Over 118 degrees.
Over 118 degrees for sure.
Already bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Then I did have an organic turkey breast.
What's that even mean?
I don't know. That's what
He's shaking his head, man.
That ain't it, bro.
Organic chicken, not organic feed, and they could still be organic.
My wife make this mac and cheese that's like, whoa! It's like, whoa!
That's why he drinking that aloe juice.
I drink 3/4 of the cup. Doing shots of the ginger. This shit been burning like a motherfucker this whole time.
How about you?
Her follow-up game is good. That was a good follow-up game.
See what she followed up the mac and cheese with? Like, burn that off now.
There you go.
Eric, how about you?
So I had some in place of turkey.
Hold back, man.
In place of turkey, I had some. I breaded some jackfruit, some fried jackfruit. It was gluten-free too. That helped. You know what I'm saying? And then just a bunch of sides. My mom made a bunch of sides. So I had mashed potatoes, like some green bean casserole.
I saw that in the Instagram.
What'd you say?
What was it in mashed potatoes? A little bit of butter?
Probably, yeah. Oh, I had mad butter. I'm not gonna hold back. I still eat butter, eggs. That's my shit. Yeah, and then my mom makes this poppin' cranberry sauce.
Ooh, yes.
Real good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Alex, how about you?
I went to my sister's. She just prepared a bunch of sides.
Don't blame it on your sister, man.
Immediately.
What you said to me?
Don't blame it on your sister, man.
All right. Mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, green beans.
What kind of green beans? Maybe like little bacon bits, maybe?
No.
Okay. Cool. All
right.
More boring than that. It was super low key. It was just me, my sister, and her fiance. We didn't really do anything. So.
All right, cool. J-Dog, what about you?
We were on the sides game too. Like all the sides are veggie. If you use earth balance, you can even do a decent mashed potato. So. And yeah, it was just kind of fun because we're always taking like a weird veggie dish to the meat lovers ball, but this year we just kind of got to make all of our own stuff. And
the whole one of the place.
Same here.
This to the meat lovers ball.
Yeah.
I had Thanksgiving with Yaya, and I let her like run down.
So I made turkey wings, okay, because it's just me eating them because Dame's obviously a vegetarian. So I made turkey wings. I did some macaroni and cheese. I did a little balsamic glazed Brussels sprouts. Hey. And for the first time ever, I made a tofurkey. I don't think Dame loved it at all. He commented on the gravy I made for it, but never.
The gravy was incredible. It was like
my mom made some poppin' gravy too. That was
the gravy was great. Here's the thing, like. It wasn't like, hey, I'm making this tofurkey. What do you think? It was like, I got some surprises for you. And so when she was like, I got this, when, you get there, and it's like, the tofurkey comes out, and it's like, yeah. And then she's like, you ever had one of these? I was like, yeah, like 20 years ago. But I'm like, yo, this gravy is awesome. Whatever you do with this gravy.
He didn't love it. So, this was a different Thursday. Anyhow, Jason, all right.
So, and last but not least, we just want to say thanks again. We really love having you. This was great. We can educate some people, even ourselves and shit. That's incredible. And your story is amazing. And we're happy that you came on here to share it with us.
Yeah, thank you.
So, last but not least, Jason is going to play us out. He usually picks a tune, and he just plays, and ta-da!
I love it.
This has been the TRFE Happy Hour.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt.
Peace.
Juice, yo.
Thank you, Jason.
Nice.
Bullet. Rubber bullet. dies, yo. Nobody dies, man.
Love y'all. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Thanks.